So nothing makes sense. It's just the pretend comparing to opposite ideas that make it appear to make sense, or appear, the meaning of ideas appear to make it seem like a story. But that's just all like an abstraction of thoughts. An idea, it's just all a story. But it's beautiful. That's the relative, that's the absolute, pretending to be relative or experiencing life, aliveness, pure, formless energy dancing by being everything, which is nothing. And how beautiful it is that it can appear to be so clear through the mirror of contrast, the formless, seeing itself in form through the reflection, the mirror of relativity. And this is just words spontaneously arising as nothing, means nothing. Just more stories for no reason. And it's not really happening. And it's all just beautiful stories about that which cannot be known, that is wordless, appearing as words that singular don't make sense. Single word does not make sense without the arising of definition, which is also spontaneous, impersonal information arising as infinite potential from nowhere, from nothing, as nothing, which is immediate. It's not something that was learned. It's just immediate information being understood by nothing. That makes sense. Singular words that all alone don't have meaning or don't make sense until other words appear to be put next to them and form a sentence or a story that appear to make sense, that appear to tell a story, which is all just freedom appearing as stories, as words, not real, just information, formless, meaningless, playful, fun. It's so random. All of it is just total chaos. Like the single frame in the projector, that's everything. There was nothing before it, nothing after it, just that, and that's everything. That's everything that could be or couldn't be, that is and isn't, that's not real, it's not really happening, but appearing, and that's everything. That's abundance, that's limitless information, that's infinite meanings. So there is no meaning, because infinite meanings cancels itself out to zero. Zero meaning. But then a reference to other frames that didn't happen in a story, or a past that didn't happen, makes it appear like a movie, makes it make sense like a story, but really it's just singular chaos appearing as order. Natural reality just is infinite, potential infinite, nothing appearing as everything, which is total chaos. But it appears to make sense, it appears to be ordered. And there's no time, there's no past, so there's nothing that happened before this. There's just literally this. It's very literal, looking at a screen. And it's literal, it's like just this face and sounds. And that's it, there's nothing else. assuming there's a body to this face is just an idea. It's not real. This video is an idea. It's not real. It's not really happening. It's like a magic show. You are the beloved infinite energy arising as everything that's seen or heard or touched or felt, sensed, emotions, all of it. Total freedom. Invincible, because it's not really happening. Unaffected by whatever's happening. It's not real. You are eternity. Making love to everything that's appearing. Making love to all the love stories. I like to romanticize it because it's just so stunning. And everything that arises is singular immediacy, so nothing happened before that, nothing after, which, makes no sense. There's no meaning, it's going nowhere, there's no purpose, there's no point to it, it's just fun. No meaning equals play. Freedom. So even all these words are appearing and disappearing, instantly deleted. It didn't happen. No one ever had a thought. No one ever had an idea. No one ever had a fear. And since all thoughts are singular, immediate, appearing, disappearing, didn't happen. It's like a clean slate every moment. So a thought does not affect what's appearing to happen. It has nothing to do with it. It's all alone. It's everything. And it disappears, and it's just whatever's appearing to happen, which is totally unaffected or has nothing to do with a thought that may have previously appeared because it didn't happen. The past didn't happen. None of this is happening. And it's just totally wild and spontaneous, like a dream at night that makes no sense. It's just random and it's just happening. There's no one controlling it, or no script, no dictator. It's just appearing and disappearing and didn't happen. So no cause and effect, which is total freedom. One thing cannot affect another thing because there is no thing. And whatever's appearing is everything, and nothing else is it happening. Nothing else ever happened. And even that's not happening. So nothing's even contagious. Like, all of that's a superstition. Everything is a motherfucking myth. This is the ultimate myth buster. Everything is a myth. Every idea is a fairy tale. Like the observer effect in quantum physics, or or placebo effect is just not even really happening. It has nothing to do with beliefs or concepts or anything, because that's just singular idea immediately arising now as this, which isn't really happening, and nothing before that, and doesn't affect anything. Disappears. Total freedom. Thinking that you manifest something is a superstition. It's just a fantasy. It's freedom. It's the beloved infinite energy arising as a thought, that thoughts affect something, and that's just an idea that's not real. And that thought that's not real cannot affect anything else, because there is nothing else. That is everything. And it's freedom. It's all freedom. Freedom dancing. Make-believe, pretending. It's just amazing. It's so wonderful. It's the cosmic joke. It is a comedy. It appears to be really hilarious. And how beautiful to fall for the scam or to think it was real and to have the experience of being real, you know, and then waking up from the dream and like, holy shit, none of that ever happened. And that's total freedom. How else could you have, you know, recognized freedom without the mirror of contrast, apparently, which didn't even happen because the past didn't happen. There never was awakening because there never was a dream. There never was a life story. There never was anyone to get free. That's the awakening. It's like a death of something that didn't happen, which is not even a death because it didn't even happen. So how can that even be a death? Wowzers. Wow. It's the childlike wonder of like, wow. It's so magical and immutable and seamless and immediate, in love with everything that's appearing to happen. There is no separation. Already, there never was a subject-object. There can't be. You can't get outside of what is to objectify it. It's just freedom appearing as pretend identification with realness or meaning or a felt sense of this is solid or this is real, which isn't really happening. It's just freedom dancing as that. Freedom is so easy that it's too easy and too simple because it's just this. It's whatever's appearing already, whatever you're feeling, that's it. There's nothing to do. It's so free that there's nothing to do to get free or to be free because freedom is all there is. It's already what is. It's just being already. Whatever's arising, whatever's being felt right now is freedom already. There's nothing to do, literally. That is fucking freedom. So free that there's nothing to do to be free because freedom is being. Freedom is so free that it can arise as the doubt, this isn't free. Or the identification with the idea of, I need to do something to be free in the future. That's freedom. That's how free it is. So there can be a thought of something to do or a want of something to do, and then the body does the opposite because the thought has nothing to do with what's appearing to happen. It's singular. So whatever's happening is everything, is all alone, nothing before or after that. So one thing does not lead to another. There is no cause and effect. It's just whatever's happening, all alone. And it's not even really happening. It's just magic. So life doesn't see a you or what you want. It's whatever's appearing to happen. Just spontaneous, like in a dream at night, where there's no reason. It just it's just randomly happening. No one controlling it. No one doing it. There never has been a doer. Apparently at a mall with the family, that's not really happening, hence the sounds. It's a magic show, just unfolding. A parent walking, appearing to happen, and appearances unfolding, not really happening. So no meaning is freeing, is being, just is. No meaning. Whatever's appearing to happen is everything. Nothing before, nothing after. It's everything that could be or couldn't be. Limitless, potential, infinite, boundless, formless energy appearing as whatever's appearing can be anything. It has no meaning because it would have infinite meaning, which, added up, cancels itself out to zero. No meaning. Just freedom. Freedom appearing as infinite meaning. No meaning. And even the idea of the mirror of contrast, where the formless appears as form that can be seen or compared to or contrasted with, apparent different ideas to understand or define or have a story, is not something that happened in the past. There is no time, there is no past. It's just infinite potential idea arising now that's defined or is a story that makes sense or just immediately arising spontaneously from nothing, as nothing, is nothing, appearing now, of not something that happened in the past. Yeah, so infinite potential, nothing arising as everything, which is infinite potential. Nothing arising as information that's not real, has no meaning, it's just arising. It makes no sense on its own, but compared to or with the arising of contrasted information makes sense of what's arising, which is spontaneously appearing from nothing, from nowhere, from no one. And it wasn't learned. The definitions of these words were not learned. You never were a child. There is no past. You never learned anything. You never did anything. It's just spontaneously arising as information that makes apparent sense. But there's an obviousness, like the still frame in the projector of what's immediately appearing to happen is everything. Nothing before, no past, no time, nothing to compare it to. So there are no opposites. There are no real opposites. So one apparent thing arising is everything, and there's nothing to compare it to. There's no opposite. There's no meaning, so there's no good or bad or right or wrong. It's total freedom. It's total chaos, appearing as order, appearing as making sense. Because the imagination abstracts ideas about it, which is just spontaneously arising as nothing, appearing as nothing, and disappearing as nothing. Nothing to grasp or nothing to hold on to, no facts, no truth. Just apparent ideas arising spontaneously and disappearing and not really happening. Like the idea of being the divine, imagining this, or the divine dreaming this. You're not separate from this, you are the absolute. Appearing and disappearing as everything. There are no polarities. There is no polarity. There's no duality. It can't be separate. It's singular. It's intimate. It's everything. Whatever's arising. Whatever is sensed. Sounds. Being sound. Being what's heard. And resistance, which is just innocent, just like the concept of the dream at night is just appearing innocently and no one's controlling it. So resistance is existence. Resisting what is, which the definition of that is refusing to accept what's happening, which is not being done by anyone or anything, because there is no one. It's just spontaneously arising as freedom, arising as that energy of resistance. Freedom is resistance. And resistance is existence, because it makes whatever's appearing to happen real and substantial, and it's happening to me, and there's separation, and there's me versus what's happening. And refusing what's happening and saying, this isn't it, is the metaphor of getting thrown out of the Garden of Eden, which is not really happening. Because even the resistance is the Garden of Eden, is freedom appearing as resistance. The refusal to accept what's happening, which is all total innocence, total play, for no reason. And it's not really happening. Like a dream at night, it's just didn't happen. But how beautiful that resistance is, because how else would you have recognized freedom without having resisted what is, or recognizing that this is paradise without the resistance of this isn't paradise. So it's like the mirror of contrast, or the mirror of seeing clearly the reflection, the formless mirror reflecting the form, seeing itself, sensing itself, non-self that can't be seen, the formless that can't be seen, reflecting itself through a mirror of what can be seen. How else could it have been? How could it have been? How could it be without that? And it doesn't need to. It's so infinite and abundant and whole. Doesn't even need to dream this or imagine this or pretend to be. It's a magic show for no one. Like a play where no one's watching, no one's in the seats. An empty theater, a movie playing at an empty theater without anyone watching. For no reason. The no reason is play, is fun. So it's all just information arising now. Never have been before. There was no conditioning. There's no past. You were never conditioned. You never experienced anything. It's just new information now arising. Even memory of a childhood is just new thought arising now, from nothing as nothing, arising, disappearing, is happening, alive now. Not of an event that happened in the past, but is new information arising. That is and isn't. That isn't happening. Nothing arising as infinite potential, infinite information, dancing, formless energy appearing as that. So the resistance or the refusal of what's appearing to happen is the sensation of suffering, which is total boundless freedom appearing as the sensation of suffering, and it's impersonal. It's not happening to anyone. It's just arising in emptiness, empty spaciousness, not happening to anyone. It's just appearing and disappearing innocently, uncaused, no reason, no cause and effect. So nothing caused it. Singular. Nothing happened before it or after. And then there can just be an obviousness, a seeing, an energetic seeing that it's literally everything. Everything's paradise. Everything that you resisted is it, is what you're longing for. What you're longing for is the longing. What you're looking for is the looker, is the looking. It's all one. Like the Ouroboros eating itself. It's just everything, literally everything. And so then there's this implosion of all the opposites. It's just the tantric marriage of the union of everything. Everything is the same, one boundless energy. There is no separation. There is no duality. Everything is the same. It can appear to look different, but it's the same one boundless energy appearing as what's looking different. So there can be a no more resisting what's appearing to happen, which is the allowance that everything is free to just be what is. It just is already, and that's already what's happening. It's already free, even if it's appearing to be resisting what is. That is freedom appearing as resisting what is. It's all freedom already. And that's the apparent killer, is the recognition that it's even the resistance to what is. It's literally everything. It's the doubting that this isn't it, or this can't be it. That's freedom. You can't escape it. So the childlike wonder is the singular immediacy of what's arising as not separate. It's whole, it's complete, it's abundant, it's satisfied, it's fulfilled. It's literally everything, and there's nothing else before it or after it. No past. It's just seeing, is being, it's just being, it just is. Just is everything, which is total unconditional love, and in love with whatever's appearing. No separation, just immutable energy and loveness. Making love. And it can't even be put into words, that sensation or what's being sensed or whatever. It's like, it's just so obvious. And it's so obvious this isn't happening. And it's just play. It's not taken seriously. It's just fun. Even the stories are fun. When they're not real, they're not scary anymore. You know, it's like you don't believe in the boogeyman anymore. That was just imaginary. It was just a story that was taken seriously. So whatever's arising is free to be and free to play, and no fear about it or no resisting it. No problem to solve. Just total freedom. It is and isn't. It appears. It can appear to look solid, but what is solid without the sense of touch? Solid is the sense of touch. It's one. What's being felt is everything. Is nothing appearing as tangible form. It's the formless appearing as form. And it can be anything. It's limitless, infinite, infinite potential, so it can't be bound. You can't know it. You can't box it into labels. You can't box anything in. There are no meanings, or it's unknowable. Everything is. You've never known anything. You may have thought you did, but you didn't. You are the unknown. You can't know anything. Because you are everything. And how cool is the imagination or the abstraction of the apparent, the divine imagining. Because how alien, like even dropping into what's appearing to happen without any information about it or ideas to compare it to, or it would be so alien. There's just there's like a abstraction or an assumption of continuity, or assumption that this is normal, or, you know, a recognition of bodies or forms or words, or otherwise it really wouldn't make any fucking sense. But how beautiful it is, the stories and the movie, the apparent movie that's not really happening, the magic show. It's so beautiful. So beautiful how when the meaning crumbles, how fucking free everything is. To be boundless, to be wild, to be chaos. The meaning was the appearance of order, which is stunning too. It's just also fucking beautiful. Which is all just innocently arising now. It wasn't learned before, there was no before, it's just happening now, spontaneously. And not really happening. This video is not happening. It wasn't recorded in the past didn't happen, it's just alive now. Appearing, disappearing, these words appearing from emptiness, disappearing as emptiness. All alone but appearing as friends. All alone but appearing as other bodies. As objects. Empty appearing full. Silence appearing sound. Stillness appearing to move. It's wow. It's wow. It's extra wow. And subtle wow. It's not one continuous state of anything. There is no state. There's no experiencer. This is unknowing appearing to happen. This is unknown appearing to sometimes make sense. The wordless appearing as words that is the words. But the wordless, so infinite, cannot be bound to word, yet is the word. The word is everything. And there were no words before that word. Nothing happened before this. You didn't even click on this video. There is no video. It's so wild. It's ecstatic, spontaneous. Everything arising, all these words are just coming from nothing. All thoughts, all everything. And it's all beautiful, the appearance of story, or the appearance of ideas that arise to make sense of apparent things that are really no thing. Like even the house, that doesn't exist when you're away from it, but appears when you walk into it, and things appear to be in the same place as when you left it, which is like a magic trick of the imagination, just formlessly appearing as form, abstracting continuity, making sense of objects appearing and disappearing, that are not solid, that are not always there, can be anything. But just appeared, new information. Wasn't there before. There wasn't a past where you left the house and then came back to it the same way. It just magically appeared. New. Not really happening. You are the divine dreamingness that can't be seen, but appearing as what can be seen, as everything appearing. Transient, disappearing. The unchanging that appears as changing. Whole and complete, needless, causeless, doesn't need anything. Doesn't need to wake up from the dream. More whole and complete than you can ever imagine. So free that you're literally nothing. So free that you literally don't exist. You can't get any freer than that. No problems to solve. Permanent recess. Yay! Wow. So much love. Overflowing, abundant love. So loving that it's unconditional. Has no qualities. Is not bound by anything. All inclusive. Includes everything you've ever resisted. That is it. That is what you are. And are not. Is and isn't. So, if you want to book a one-on-one, go to my website under the description, or join the group Zoom calls on my Patreon, or give me a random call. Sometimes it's better to text first, or just random call. Whatever happens, you have no control whether it happens or not, so whatever's happening. And maybe live meetings, perhaps. We don't know. It's unknowing. It's all a surprise, but it feels good to think about it. Yay, love you. Mwah.